Hello, and welcome to MAT092 Introductory Algebra Online. My goal for this video is to get you started and sort of walk you through the order in which you'll be doing things, how you're going to be learning the content, and where to go. So the first thing that you should probably do is go through this Start Here module. It has all your course information, it has your syllabus, it has the readiness survey, which you will have to message me with the results for. It is basically everything you need to do to get started, including a checklist of here are exactly the things that you need to do to get started. Again, this is something you'll probably only go through the first week of class. Here's your course syllabus, so it is right here on the main page. It's also over here on the left if you click syllabus. There is a really nice calendar. So for those of you that are visual like myself, I need to sort of see what it is I have to do each day. There is a calendar for the whole semester at the end of that syllabus, which I think is really helpful. And this is just a link to WebAssign if you need it. Otherwise, you can just go straight to webassign.net. Canvas, this shell right here of this course, is where you're going to do all of your learning of your content, and WebAssign is where you should be doing the assessing of your content. So again, all of our learning, note-taking, etc., video watching is pretty much done here in Canvas, and then you go to WebAssign to do your homework for the week or your test or quiz for the week. So here's what it'll look like on a typical week. I would click on Course Materials, and only prior to week 1 might you have to watch, and there will be another tutorial over here as well, but you might only have to watch these prior to week 1 because these are how to use WebAssign. So once you get more comfortable in that, you probably won't view these anymore. I'm going to be walking you through basically this up here, weekly schedule. What should you be doing each week to make sure that you're successful, you don't miss due dates, and you're retaining the most amount of information? So basically it's read, watch, and do. So you're going to review the learning objectives for the week. I'll show you where those are. You're going to read anything in the ebook, any sections that have been assigned to you. The ebook is also interactive, so there are videos within that. So I think you'll find it very user-friendly. You're going to watch the assigned videos. This number 3 is often my most unsuccessful students have said, yeah, I tried to skip that part. This is the part that takes place of an in-class lecture or in-class activity where you're actually learning the content, not just the skill of how can I do number 5, how can I do number 6, but the overall concept of what does it mean to rationalize a denominator? What does it mean to write a linear equation? And what am I actually doing? All of those concepts are in these videos, and I'll show you where those are. So very, very important that you watch those in here. I would take notes as you're watching those videos, just as if you're in class. And then you'll go complete the discussion question in Canvas, which again, a lot of learning is going to take place in this discussion question because I will post helpful documents, tips, etc. in that, and a lot of the discussion questions are content related. Then you'll go to WebAssign to complete any homework, quizzes, tests, midterms, final exams, etc. So any other assessment like that, homework, quizzes, tests, midterms, finals, will all be done in WebAssign. Your grade is also housed in WebAssign. So you'll notice every Monday that grade will be updated and will be up to date in WebAssign. So let me show you what each week looks like. You'll notice I can click on week 1, but I cannot click on week 2. Where all of the videos are housed for chapter 1, where the learning occurs, is in that learning week, week 1. This week 2, I'm supposed to be getting myself ready for a chapter 1 quiz. So there are other resources in WebAssign that I should be using at that point. If at any time I want to come back and watch the chapter 1 videos, they will certainly still be here, but I just didn't link them twice because it would be a repeat. So you can just go click on week 1 and watch those videos if you need to kind of remind yourself before you take that quiz of what was learned. So week 1, I'll click on it. And you'll see here sort of an overview, me telling you what chapter 1 is basically about. And then here are all your objectives. My advice to you is to use this as a checklist before you go take any quiz or test. Can I add, subtract, multiply, and divide with fractions and integers? Most people can do it with integers, but can you do it with fractions? Maybe go find a few and practice before you take that quiz. So again, I would use that as a checklist because anything on an assessment will be part of those main objectives that you learned. Now, how do I learn that content? Well, here is how. If you scroll down, you'll see all the video lectures here on the left and all the video examples here on the right. These are just the sections corresponding to the text from WebAssign. So for example, multiplying fractions, I click on it, it opens up in a new tab. I can watch the video. Again, it's only 8 minutes long. I can close it or I can go back to my other page. And then I can watch the video on dividing signed fractions. It opens up in a new tab. I think this one is 7 minutes long. Watch that. My recommendation is as you're watching these, title them so you know what it is and write down some notes. And you don't have to copy exactly what you see here, but maybe make a note to yourself of why did this division change to multiplication, so forth. So these are video lectures. These are what I would consider to be mandatory. You'll notice some sections only have one, some have quite a bit more because I think with fractions, I think we often need to see a little bit more of the why or what was really going on, and maybe adding real numbers. Maybe we don't need too many videos on that, but again, I'll also link you to a website and show you where there are more if you need more. So these are what I would consider mandatory. They're all approximately 6 to 9 minutes in length. They're not too excessive. These video examples are just supplementary. So if you still are confused with something with fractions, then I would go here. It's almost the equivalent of you coming to class and saying, oh, Mrs. Henderson, I just, number 17 on the homework, I just couldn't get. It's a little bit more skill-based, whereas these are much more, the lectures are much more concept-based. They still do show examples, but they're also teaching you how to do it given any number, not just the numbers in that one particular problem. So here's where you learn the content, right? So I've watched these videos, I've read my ebook, I've taken notes. I should be now ready to go to any discussion. And so if I go to week 1 discussion, and I might see more than you do here for a second. So let me click on week 1. This one is just an introduction. Okay, so I will not be able to see others' replies until I post something. So I will post mine. That's the discussion question grade. Then I will also have to participate 2 times throughout the rest of the week up until Friday to my peers. And it needs to be something pretty substantial, furthering the conversation, asking a thought-provoking question, etc. So if I go back home, I'm able to see this course materials button will probably move to the top once we get done with the first week because we won't really need at least the Start Here module anymore, but you'll find that course materials button. Each week it's very important that you just click on the week, but I also listed after the week what needs to be done. So your introduction, there's a syllabus quiz in Canvas, chapter 1, all the learning, your discussion question and participation all are due that first week. Week 2, you're just going to have a chapter 1 quiz, you're going to have a discussion question, and you're going to have to do your participation. So those are 3 grades going in the grade book. But again, I think that the calendar at the end of the syllabus really shows this nicely. But all of the learning videos are here in week 1, week 3, week 5, week 7, etc. So if I click on week 7, I'm going to see the videos that I should learn for sections 3.5 through 3.8. And if I want to revisit those videos before I take that quiz, I just go click on that week 7 where I learned that content. So I'm hoping that this is very user friendly, but again, in Canvas is where you're going to learn the content. I would also make sure that you have your notifications turned on because I will regularly send you out announcements in Canvas about passwords for quizzes and things of that nature. I try not to send too many announcements, maybe 1 or 2 a week, but please make sure you do see those and look for those. I hope you found this helpful in getting started and know what to do to how to learn the content.